What's going on, guys? Aarava here, and welcome back to my F1 2015 mod career mode, and we're back with episode number 3 at the Chinese Grand Prix, and back once again in the Mclaren Honda alongside Fernando Alonso for episode 3. The Chinese track, probably not one of my favourite tracks, and I'm probably not that great at it, but we'll see how it goes. We've got a lot of potential if we get a good start of the race, but first we have to go through qualifying and hopefully stick it into at least the top 10, we're hoping, in this McLaren. We'll see how it goes. Just going through the wheel settings quickly, just making sure everything's in check. So if you ever wondered about my wheel settings, you probably could have paused the video just back then and checked them out. I don't actually alter the wheel settings too much in-game. It's more in the actual loader of my actual wheel. And a lot of you wondering about the wheel in the last episode, a few comments about, you know, how I mapped certain things on the dials. Basically, it just all in-game, it just recognizes the wheel, and you can map all the kind of switches and kind of rollable kind of switches and dials to the fuel settings and the tire mapping. So, you know, it's really all just kind of in-game, nothing fancy, no mods or anything like that, just picked up in-game. And if you're wondering about my wheel as well, I mean, I have answered it in my frequently asked questions in the description. If you ever want to know any frequently asked questions, then do check the description out. But yeah, a lot of you wanted to maybe know where you could pick it up or anything. I'm pretty sure like your Amazon store will have this wheel as well. It's a Thrustmaster TX wheel, the one I'm using right now for the Xbox One and PC. I also have a T500 Thrustmaster, which is for the PS4 and PC, so you can see where I can interchange them to go for, you know, all three consoles essentially. But this series is on PC, so I'm using the TX instead with the F1 integral wheel. So that comes separately from the base, but you can, I believe, get it with a T500 as well. But just a little info there, because a lot of you, I was getting quite a lot of comments last episode, so I thought I'd just answer that for you quickly while we went through the, well, pretty boring, just doing all the setup stuff. You could see maybe on the setup, if you were paying attention, I went for quite a high-ish wing, I guess, compared to what you might run at China, because this McLaren does understeer. We're going to need a bit more downforce in the first two sectors. Obviously, the last sector with that huge long back straight is going to maybe, the high downforce maybe going to kill us a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. 0% chance of rain in this qualifying session and the race, but I guess we'll just step straight out onto the option tyre. Hopefully we can get up into the top 10 here for the Chinese Grand Prix qualifying. So let's get straight out on track and go for that flying lap. So on to our flying lap here for the Chinese Grand Prix qualifying session, down the back straight up into rich mix, obviously, and we're just going to prepare ourselves for everything. And yeah, it's going to be a bit tricky on this lap. China, as I said at the beginning of the video, not my favourite circuit of all time. Just in the past, I've had a lot of issues with understeer in the first sector, especially also the second sector maybe, and we put the brakes to front because I was actually getting a bit less braking than I actually wanted, so I want a bit more on the front, a bit more of a punchier front end, sort of like Kimi Räikkönen does in real life. But we're opening DRS going into the first corner. We're really going to chuck the car in onto the right-hander, down to third gear, and then eventually second, I'm guessing. I think, yeah, there we go. Just changed down to second, hit the apex, almost just missing it a little bit, and then going on the racing line on the turn 2, and then just on the exit, just feeding the power through. Bit of a snap of oversteer a little bit there on the exit, but we're coming through to the end of sector 1. Obviously, we're the first car pretty much setting the sector time, so there won't be any kind of relative green or purple sector there. But 1:25.5, I'm going to say that's okay. We'll have to see about that. But into this next sector now, staying in 5th gear because we can't go up to 6th. Maybe in a Mercedes we could have gone up to 6th there, but in the McLaren we have to stay in 5th just to make sure we stay in the racing line. Down to 2nd through this sector. Now this is quite tricky, just have to make sure we line up the car perfectly onto the racing line to really put the power down. Now to the end of sector 2, now to this really swooping right-hander, which we can lose quite a lot of time here to the AI cars that can really just get the power down instantly. We're going to have to feed the power through a little bit in 3rd gear, just making sure it revs high enough, and we can just plant the power in 4th gear. Now onto the back straight. Now this is where the high downforce may hurt us a little bit, but it's been an okay lap, I guess. I mean, feeling in the car, remembering back to what it felt like, it did feel like an okay lap at the time through sector 1 and sector 2, but we're just going to have to see what the actual time is at the end of it. Down to the hairpin, the front brakes, front brake bars helping there, just get the car turned in into the apex, briefly into 1st gear. Alonso sets the fastest lap of the session so far, but now Bottas overtakes him. So Bottas will on 37.4. That's a very punchy time indeed. Opening DRS onto the end of the lap, and that's a 1:38.8. So we're 1.4 back from Valtteri Bottas. So I think that's not going to be good enough, but you know, we're going to have to try and improve. But unfortunately, we didn't actually improve, because as you're about to see here, as we cut onto another flying lap, just go really hot into the first corner and really just trying to gain way too much time to the first corner, and we've gone wide there a little bit. Not too bad, you must say, not a completely dramatic wide off there, but then onto the exit of turn 2, we just lose the back end, an absolute tree, having to oversteer a little bit. And as we come onto the end of sector 1, you're about to see how much time we lost through that. 7.5 tenths of a second that we've lost there in the first sector, so I immediately just abandoned the lap. No point. Annoyingly, we could not improve because we lost it all in the first sector. We couldn't have gained back 7 tenths on the rest of the lap, so unfortunately we're only in 9th place, 1.4 back. Alonso's beaten us to 7th place, but Valtteri Bottas, that's the big thing, has got pole position, and Williams have done a locked out 1-2. They've overtaken the Mercedes. Absolutely crazy. Maybe the aero efficiency of that Williams car, obviously, as I've said in real life as well, the Williams car is very aero efficient, set up for low drag, so it doesn't really get bogged down the straights, and maybe that's really helped Williams today to get a 1-2 there in qualifying. That's going to be amazing to see if they can convert that to maybe even a 1-2 in the race. We'll have to see, but talking about the race, 9th place, we'll see what we can do. Let's go into the race. So here we are in the garage, preparing for the Chinese Grand Prix, looking at the race strategy, option prime. We will see how that goes, but that's the strategy my pit engineers are recommending for me. Looks like the option tires will go about 8 laps. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully, they will last the good 8 laps. 0% chance of rain in the race as well, so that's going to be quite important. Let's see what we can do from 9th place. Let's go to the grid. So here we are revving up for 5 red lights for the Chinese Grand Prix, episode 3 of this career mode series on the F1 2015 mod career, and 5 red lights, and we are off instantly for the Chinese Grand Prix, and we're getting an okay start actually. Ricciardo bogging down a little bit, but now we've bogged down in the second part of the start, and looks like a Force India Perez, I think that was, trying to overtake us on the right hand side, but we're going round on the outside of all these cars on the right hand, on the left hand side. Looks like Rosberg there in 9th place. Looks like we might actually jump him. Rosberg getting a terrible start. He's gone down from what was, I think, 4th or 5th place on the grid down to what is now 9th. I'm down to 10th. Unfortunately, we've lost a place in that start, as it looks like someone's made a very good start indeed ahead of us. But Alonso now right ahead of us in 9th. Looks like he's going to try and overtake Rosberg. But Rosberg's done him there around the outside. Maybe I can do him around the outside. Yes, we can. Around the outside of our teammate there, Fernando Alonso, for 9th place. Perez trying to pressure Alonso as well. So Alonso struggling at the moment on the race start, but that was not an amazing start for, well, you must say both McLarens, really, both of us getting bogged down there, and really a terrible start for Nico Rosberg. Don't know what went on there. He was, I think, started 5th in the race, and then went down to 9th by, halfway through turn 1, which was very surprising indeed. And now, can we maybe make a move on Rosberg? He's going very slowly indeed. I think he must have an issue. We're going to go down the inside of Rosberg, and we've overtaken him, and I think maybe Alonso's followed us as well. Alonso has followed us indeed, and he's overtaken Nico Rosberg, so he has to have an issue. I'm not too sure what that is exactly. Maybe his power unit's not exactly firing on all cylinders. Maybe he's got a problem with his ERS. I'm not too sure. These ERSs are so complex that you can have a failure maybe on the grid, so maybe that was an issue. We'll have to see how it goes on and how it works out in the race. But they're going to the hairpin. Looks like someone's lost a bit of their end plate there. And might be Nico Hülkenberg, so that may mean he's vulnerable to us on coming onto the pit straight now on the end of lap 1. But someone definitely lost a bit of their end plate there, and maybe a bit of a front wing, so we'll see how that goes. But up into 8th place now, so 1 place over on where we were on the grid, so that wasn't the best of first laps. We sort of had to do a recovery from going down to what was, I think, 11th at one point into turn 1, but now we cut later onto lap 2 onto the swooping right hand onto the back straight. Obviously DRS is not available right now, but we could get Hülkenberg just on pure slipstream here of the McLaren. Let's see. We've got a bit of higher downforce, but hopefully that's not going to hinder us, especially in the slipstream on this game. It's very, very powerful, and we are getting the slipstream. We're getting great slipstream there. and we've overtaken Nico Hulkenberg pretty easily for 7th place. And up ahead, that's Raikkonen and Ricciardo battling, and I think Raikkonen's overtaken Ricciardo there. Nice move from Raikkonen there, just down the inside of Ricciardo, and Ricciardo's now susceptible to us down the inside of Ricciardo, going side by side through the last corner. Oh god, Ricciardo's gone very wide. I've lost the rear end, and now Hulkenberg's coming back at us, and even Rosberg in the mirrors. This is absolutely amazing stuff. We're going to maybe go 4 wide into the first turn. Hulkenberg on the right hand side of me, Ricciardo right in front. Rosberg goes down my inside. We're going to have to get brake checked by Ricciardo as he nearly get on into the back of Ricciardo. We're going 4 wide into turn 1, into turn 2. I'm getting bogged down by Ricciardo and Rosberg going very slowly in the apex, but this was absolutely amazing stuff. I've lost it and I've gone down to 9th, but that was still pretty damn amazing. 4-way into turn 1, and now we're chasing down Rosberg. Can we maybe get him? He's going to try and overtake Ricciardo, and the benefiter of all that has been Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg overtaking me and also staying away from Rosberg, and then overtaking Ricciardo and all that. So Hulkenberg really going to work there, making that work for him. But wow, that was I need to take a little breather there. I need to calm down. That was ooh, that was an absolute stunner there, right there. If that doesn't deserve a like, I don't know what will, guys, on the video. Do give it a like if you're enjoying it so far. But yeah, we're behind Rosberg now in 9th place, losing the back end a little bit there. Bit of a tank slapper on the exit of that corner into lap 3 now. We're going red there on the sector, but obviously we've been doing battling there, and that's probably not good for our tyres so far. Remember, we're going to lap 8, so we're going to have to watch the tyre wear there on this McLaren, and hopefully that will see us through. But we're closing down Rosberg now. Obviously, DRS will be available now up into Rich Mix. We've got 2 laps of fuel to burn, I think. So we're going to open DRS, getting double DRS from Ricciardo as well, double slipstream. Rosberg's overtaken him. I'm going to try and overtake both of them there, down to the hairpin, up to 7th place, maybe locking up, going very close to Hulkenberg's rear, but thankfully not crashing into him. Lost the rear end a tad there, as Rosberg maybe made a diving move. Our engine's getting a little bit hot there, but we have gained 2 places on the span of 1 straight, and that is really great to see. And we're up to 7th place now, chasing down Hulkenberg now, opening DRS, and hopefully we can chase down that Force India. Obviously, we overtook him previously, but then he got back on us in that little scrap for 4-way in the turn 1. But we've gone very wide then to turn 1 onto the grass, and Rosberg is going to try and come back at us. We're going to have to defend, push him wide a little bit, and defend quite well there from Rosberg. That was very, very bad. We went very wide, almost like we did in qualifying on that second flying lap. We went very wide, touched the left tyre on the grass, and we almost lost the place to Rosberg, but thankfully we're able to defend well enough. And now 1.2 behind Hulkenberg, losing the rear again. So on lap 4, the tyres on 2-1, but it looks like we're struggling a little bit on traction on the rear on lap 4. Now cut later on to the same lap, up to Rich Mix, and can we try and get Hulkenberg opening DRS? And it looks like we're gaining on him really quite a lot here in 8th gear. And can we get Hulkenberg down to the inside of the hairpin? And we have got him for 6th place there. Very easy move, hit the apex. It looks like, oh god, Rosberg made a very late lunging move. Looks like Rosberg's really on the prowl there, trying to keep up with me, and he's overtaken Hulkenberg. Very late move by Rosberg there, you must say, to try and overtake Hulkenberg, but he's followed me through, and he's into 7th. I'm up into 6th. Massa, he's leading the race right now. So the Williams pace in qualifying was not just in qualifying. It wasn't a fluke. It looks like the Williams legitimately have pace to try and win this race, so that will be very interesting to see what happens at the end of the Grand Prix. But now we cut onto lap 6 now, right behind the Iceman himself, Kimi Raikkonen in the Ferrari. Looks like he's very much away from the pack. Looks like he hasn't got the pace of his teammate Vettel at the moment in this Chinese Grand Prix, but we're going to try and overtake him and get up into 5th place, up into Rich Mix. Looks like, basically, if you haven't guessed already, my strategy is basically just to keep on putting into Rich on the back straight and save the fuel and the rest of the lap, and we've gone up into 5th place. Easy move there with DRS, and we're up into 5th place. Bottas right now in 4th, so he's lost it off pole down to 4th, so that means Vettel must be at least 3rd, or it's either Vettel in 2nd or 3rd, and then well, Vettel is in 4th right now, so that should mean he was in 3rd. Hamilton was then in 2nd, and then Massa in 1st. But we've got onto lap 8 now, making our pit stop for the prime tyres. The tyres are pretty worn. Raikkonen goes up to 6th place. Bottas has the fastest up the Grand Prix, so it looks like he was 4th, and he's going to be trying to fight hard for that race win, because he did have pole position, so he did have the pace. Hamilton up there as well, so that'll be interesting for the race win. I don't think we'll be fighting in that scrap, but it's just interesting to see, really, because at the moment Rosberg is leading the championship, I believe, before this race, so he's down the order, so it'll be interesting to see how much people can eat away into his lead at the moment in the championship. But we've come out in 12th place behind our teammate Alonso, who I believe is yet to make his stop, actually. So Alonso having a very bad day in the office indeed. My teammate not having the best Grand Prix so far, and now cutting on to lap 10. Looks like Rosberg has unfortunately jumped us in the pit stops there. He stayed out one lap longer than us. And it looks like he's kind of done the opposite of an undercut. He stayed out and probably kept his tyre a bit better. As you can see, my left front is really overheating through that first corner. Big issue here in China. The front left just overheats so much here at China, especially I think the AI really don't see that effect. But yeah, Rosberg's jumped us, so we're going to have to try and overtake him on the same lap here. This is our best opportunity, just on the same lap when his tyres are a bit cold, mine are up in temperature. Let's try and overtake him with DRS on the back straight. It looks like, oh god, our engine is red hot there, so we're going to have to get out of the hot air of Rosberg not to try and wreck this Honda engine, and down to the hairpin. But we've gone a bit wide there. Rosberg going to come back at us, going side by side. Oh god, looks like we lost the rear a tad. Maybe a bit of a side pod glitch there on Rosberg, but now we're going side by side like we did with Ricciardo, side by side through the last corner. Rosberg doesn't go as wide as Ricciardo did, and I think we're still side by side with Rosberg, opening DRS, and Rosberg's actually got us. We're going to try and overtake him now into the first corner, so we couldn't make it stick on the pit straight. Can we get it into the first corner? Oh god, that was very close into the first turn. Oh so close, just left a millimetre of space there between my front left and his front right tyre. But we've just about got Rosberg there for what will be 5th place. So Vettel in 4th at the moment, and Hamilton up in 3rd, I believe. And I think it's a 1-2 for Williams, believe it or not. So that's pretty crazy. But we're defending from Rosberg at the moment onto lap 15 now. So 5 laps later, still defending from Rosberg. Rosberg's keeping me honest, guys. He's keeping me very honest. But actually, did he see that way? Did you see it in a hairpin? I think there was a bit of debris off. I think it looked like a bit of a front wing off. And we can see someone in the pits, and Hamilton's down to 4th. Vettel was 4th previously, but now Hamilton's in 4th. Is this going to be Lewis Hamilton losing a bit of his front wing and making a pit stop? Yes, it is. We're into 4th place. I believe it looks like Hamilton may have had a bit of an altercation with Sebastian Vettel. So my old teammate Vettel has, I think, maybe done us a bit of a favour there with coming together with Hamilton. And he's got his front wing off, so that is very good news for us. Very good news, because we're up into 4th effectively. Right now we're in 2nd at the moment, but that's because we haven't made our pit stop yet onto lap 19. We're going to do so now. We can see a Marussia Manor car there just going through the last corner, but a really nice pit entry there. Nice taking that apex right quite nicely into the pits, and now down to lean mix, obviously, to save some fuel. I believe we still got +1 of fuel, so we can use that to defend from Rosberg. He has been keeping us honest this entire race. Obviously, it's a bit boring to show you, but he has pretty much been right behind me the entire race since I've overtaken him, so he's been keeping me very honest. But Hamilton set up the fast lap of the Grand Prix, and as he would, because he's gone down positions now after that front wing off, so he's probably pushing very hard to try and gain the positions. But as we come out of the pits, we can see Rosberg has just about jumped us. So again, Rosberg jumps us again in the pit stop phase. It's very annoying. I don't know if it's maybe my pit stop crew doing a bad job, or just my in-laps being far too slow, but he's jumped us. But actually, I forgot to note, guys, we're onto the option tire. The strategy was option prime, option prime. We've gone option prime option, because I actually feel we can take these options to the end of the race. 8 laps left. The first option tyres we were on did 8 laps, so I think this was the better tyre, and I felt much better on the option tyres. And can we try and make a move on Rosberg? He's going very slowly into the next corner, and just like he did at the beginning of the race, he's going very slowly into this kind of swooping right-hander. And I don't know what's up with Rosberg, but he's kind of just let us through there, and we're up into 4th place. Will it be? I think it will be 4th, but we're going to the pit straight now, 5th at the moment. But I think Hamilton is going to make another pit stop, obviously, for his last set of option tyres, or prime tyres, or whatever he pits for. But Rosberg, again, just like the beginning of the race, went very slowly into that corner, and he sort of let us through on the inside, and then we kind of barged our way through into the inside. So I'm not going to complain. Rosberg going a little bit slowly there. Obviously, maybe on cold tyres, but we were on colder tyres, so I'm not too sure what went on there. But now we come to lap 27, and as you can see, guys, Vettel is within 1.3 of us. Hamilton's right behind us. He set another fast lap of the Grand Prix. He's right behind us in our mirrors, probably about 1 second back. He's overtaken Rosberg, and he's setting fast lap of the Grand Prix, but we are 1.7 behind Vettel. Can we maybe get that, podium positions we want? Can we get a 3rd place in this race? We'll have to see. 1 lap to go. We come to lap 28, in the middle of lap 28, and our tyres are absolutely gone. But we've closed up on Vettel, so it looks like Vettel's also struggling with his tyres. Hamilton, though, is not. not, because he's obviously made one extra pit stop. He's got very fresh tyres. We're going to try and defend for this position. So we're trying to maybe get third place from Vettel, but at the same time defending for fourth place from Hamilton. Let's see, going through his right-hander, we're going to have to wait patiently to try and put the power down, just struggling in the rear, and Hamilton will have DRS, so this is going to be very interesting. He could get us for fourth place at the last lap on the last few last corners here. Let's go down the pit straight. He's in the slipstream. I'm going to the left, now to the right now. I'm going to stay on the right-hand side, down the inside to the hairpin. That's my place to try and defend from Hamilton. There he is on the left-hand side. You can just see his front wing there. He's tried to overtake us, but we defended quite well for fourth place, and it doesn't look like we'll get third. Looks like we'll solidify fourth place. Valtteri Bottas has won the Chinese Grand Prix. What on earth has gone on there? Hamilton tries to get back at us, but it's no use. We have got fourth place in the Chinese Grand Prix. Oh my god. Wow, that was a race and a half, guys. That was very, very good. And I'm starting to lose my voice off that commentary. That was non-stop commentary action. And who would have thought it at the Chinese Grand Prix? Usually quite a boring Grand Prix, to be honest. But that was a very, very good race. If that doesn't deserve a like, again, as I said, I don't know what will, guys. That would be absolutely awesome if you could smash the likes for this episode. That was a great, great race. Probably the best race of the season so far. We've only had 3, but definitely probably one of the contenders for race of the season, I think. That was a great race. But Valtteri Bottas winning the Chinese Grand Prix. It's a 1-2 for Williams. What on earth has gone on there? What has happened to Mercedes this race? And what on earth has Williams been smoking? I don't know what on earth they've been smoking, but Jesus, it's worked for them. 1-2. That Williams aero efficiency, like in real life, has worked out an absolute treat here in the F1 2015 mod career, and they've got a 1-2 today for the Chinese Grand Prix. I've come in the 4th place, so I'm very, very happy with that. That's a good points haul, and we're in, at the moment, 6th place in the Drivers' Championship, so solidifying our place in 6th at the moment. I hope the McLaren can improve so we can fight for the championship and try and defend. But right now, it looks like it's a very good scrap between from 3rd, Lewis Hamilton, down to me in 6th place. So a very good scrap there in the Drivers' Championship. Alonso not really putting his weight, to be honest, in the team so far. He's only got 1 point to his name, so hopefully he can improve in the next few races. But guys, that has been the Chinese Grand Prix. If you did enjoy that race, then do give it a like. Comment below what you thought. That was an absolute stunner, in my own opinion. Subscribe if you're new around here for more weekly F1 career mode like this, and more F1 2015 news when it comes out, obviously. But right now, we're 4th in the Constructors as well. So McLaren Honda, it's been a solid start, I guess, for me. Maybe not so for Alonso, but a solid start for me. Looking forward to the next one. Bahrain, probably going to do better there. That's one of my favourite tracks, Bahrain, actually, on this game. So we'll see how we do. But I've been Aarava. Hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll see you guys next time.